The guy received a gift from his father who was far away in Egypt. But to his surprise, it was a coffin with a cross painted on it. The boy looked at the letter that came with it and finally understood what was going on. But he knew his father's gifts usually came with danger. So he thought this one would be dangerous too. Just then, the coffin lid started to shake. To protect himself, the boy quickly got a weapon ready. But when he slowly opened the coffin, he saw something different from what he had thought. The mummy was so small. But since it was from his father, he still had to be careful. So he got a clothes hanger and poked the cotton beside the mummy to make sure it was safe. As for the little mummy, the boy put it back in the coffin. But when he was about to close it, he found that the coffin was leaking. It turned out that it was the tears from the little mummy. So the boy got a cloth to wipe the floor. The mummy also wanted to help, but the boy didn't want it to come near. He still put the mummy back in the coffin. Seeing this, the mummy became very anxious. So it tried hard to prove its worth, but it didn't work at all. The boy was puzzled. So he looked at the letter from his father again. But it only said that it was a mummy and nothing else. Then he had to look for books about mummies. But none of them looked like the little mummy in front of him. Just as the boy was getting a headache, the little mummy shed more tears of grievance. This made the boy feel a little soft-hearted. But just then, another pet in the house ran over. It was a little dog. The boy immediately picked up the dog. It turned out that the dog was reminding him that he hadn't eaten yet. At this time, the little mummy waved its hands, but it failed to attract the affectionate boy and dog. It suddenly felt that it had lost favor. So the mummy imitated the dog and threw itself at the boy. This made the boy nervous. As the little mummy climbed higher and higher, the boy had to put the dog down first. But then the dog started to bark fiercely. The boy realized that the dog was jealous, so he picked it up again. But in the mummy's eyes, it was different. Because the boy was holding the dog and the mummy was crawling behind him, the mummy felt wronged again. So it started to bark like a dog. The boy was very surprised. But at this time, the dog also started to bark. So the dog and the mummy kept barking. Then the boy couldn't stand it any longer and told them to stop. Suddenly, the boy remembered that he hadn't named the mummy yet. Then he thought that calling it Xiao Yi would be just right. Finally, when the mummy heard this, it understood that it could stay.